TV, we have a local author who has just written Not Just Another Pretty Face, P.L. Bennitt. Peggy, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Is this your first book?
It is. It is.
Wow.
My first.
How did you decide that you were going to write a book?
I don't know if you can say you decide to write a book. It just kind of happens. It started out really as a short story that I was just writing for a writers' conference. And after it was done, everybody who read it said, "No, you're not done. These characters need to go farther." So it progressed from there.
So people, they reviewed your writing and thought, there's a book in this.
Right.
How would you describe what genre do you write?
I like to think it's a family saga more than romance, but romance is where it gets put, generally speaking.
Yes.
But it's faith, family, and romance.
All right, because there's an excerpt that's in your brochure. I'll read it.
Okay.
Smooth tanned skin stretched taut over the rippling muscles as the masculine masterpiece moved across the stage. So it sounds like a Fabio kind of guy.
It starts out like that because that is the journalist who is the female protagonist. That is her concept of men who do this kind of thing, is they're just jocks and they're not, they're just objects, basically.
Right. So Randy Newkirk, described as a hunky bodybuilder who is not what he seems to be. So the female protagonist, how does she connect? How does she make contact with this bodybuilder?
Okay, she is a journalist writing for the Patriot, which is the local newspaper.
So it's set here in Jackson.
It's set here in Jackson, and you will find Jackson things all throughout the story.
So you slightly disguised the Citizen Patriot as the Patriot.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And
so they don't sue you.
yeah. I'm not too worried. I used to work for the Jackson Citizen Patriot. So
really?
Yes. Years and years ago. But anyway, the journalist is assigned this. Journalists can choose some of their writing, but others are assigned things that the company wants covered. And she's assigned it, and she's fighting it tooth and nail because that's not professional enough for her and all that kind of stuff. So she shows up at it and is surprised when she interviews this gentleman because he's intelligent. He doesn't seem to be a dumb jock, like she has this, mentality that's all that happens in any athletic situation. So it's an eye-opener for her, and he challenges her.
Is it a mystery? Is there a murder? Any murder?
No, it's not a murder mystery. It's stories of living and the different things that pop up in your life that change your trajectory. And
it's set in Jackson.
It's set in Jackson, completely.
Am I in it?
No, you're not, but you could be in my next one.
I have been written in as the character in books that are set in Jackson or set in a community like Jackson.
Okay.
But I never like how I'm portrayed.
Oh.
So could I give you like the description of what kind of a character I would be?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. I can work around it.
People might recognize places though more than people.
Yes, and there are places in there. Jackson College is in there. There is Roxy's is in there, and different street addresses will be in there, so they can recognize wherever something is happening. There'll be something in there that gives you an idea of where the area is. So if somebody came to Jackson, they could find some of these places.
Oh, cool. So it's not disguised. It's actually called the Roxy.
Yes.
Now, the newspaper people like, what's her name? Jessie Neuer, your female lead character.
Right.
Is she modeled after someone at the Patriot?
No, I would say that my characters, almost all of them, have bits and pieces of different people I've met through my life. So it's not, she's her own personality.
Is there a mean, crotchety publisher at the Patriot?
Not per se. There's a female.
Okay.
She is.
Does she scare everyone at the paper?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
She's in charge.
Yeah.
They know she's in charge.
And the bodybuilder, is there somebody in Jackson that?
Actually, that was based on a couple of guys that were in our church at the time, who were Christian bodybuilders. And as a matter of fact, one of them asked me when the book came out, he says, "Oh, I didn't know you were going to use a picture of me on there." So I got lots of my information about bodybuilding that's in the book. I got that from one of the guys.
From an actual bodybuilder.
Actually.
And the story set in a time in history where there's change in publishing and print.
Exactly. Yeah.
And do you deal with that?
A little bit. That's touched on, absolutely, because you've got computers coming into the scene more so at this point, and how that will progress throughout. You got changes now in the print industry. Yeah.
You don't have to bang this out on a typewriter, and if you make a mistake, rip the paper out and start over.
Start over. Yeah.
And it looks like a pretty hefty book, Peggy. How long does it take to write? Because this goes on for like how many, 70 or 30 chapters, 26 chapters?
Yeah, yeah. It's not really a long read, but it's detailed because there's different, like in anybody's life, it doesn't just go smoothly along. It chops up into different areas, and you meet different people, and that pulls you off in a different area. And so it's like life.
When you write a book, do you like lay out an outline of, where it begins, where it's going to end, or does it wind its way as you write it?
I would say both. It does both, because your characters change as you're writing, and they don't always go the way you think they're going to go, which sounds very peculiar, but if you talk to any author, they will tell you the same thing. Well, this wasn't how it was supposed to turn out. This is how it got.
The book's just out?
Yes, yes.
Have you had some people review it?
Not yet.
What about your husband? Your husband's in the audience today. And before the show, I asked Peggy if he is a fan of this type of writing, and it turns out he's not.
He's not. No, that's not his favorite.
He's not, but he likes biographies.
Yep.
He likes.
And he did read the first draft. It's changed since then. The book has changed since then, but predominantly he got the story.
And I think at one point you said you write or have some Christian. It's for a family audience.
It's a family audience. My 13-year-old granddaughter is now reading this book. Okay. And it's okay for her to read it.
Nice. And where can people get this?
They can get it online at Amazon or at Barnes & Noble. And they can go into their favorite bookstore in the area and order it.
And this isn't the only writing. This first book, but you've written other things like advice columnist?
Yeah. When I don't know if you remember Kids in Common magazine.
Yes, Kids in Common.
I wrote for that. So it was Ask Aunt Peg. So it was a column, and and it was about parents asking questions, and I would respond to them.
Because you're a parent.
I'm a parent.
Absolutely,
and I'm a family life educator, so with a degree in that. So I do know something about it. And I have my own family.
Qualified to give advice. Well, it's available right now, and you can get Not Just Another Pretty Face by P.L. Bennitt. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Good luck with the book.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Peggy. The author, P.L. Bennitt.